What is going on, guys? Today we have a brand new bowling ball to talk about. Welcome to Bowling Ball Week, by the way. This week we have every brand releasing bowling balls. Today we had Motiv Bowling release a brand new bowling ball, which we're going to get into in a second. I assume tomorrow Brunswick is going to be announcing a handful of bowling balls. They usually announce their bowling balls on Tuesdays, so if you're watching this after 3/31, so in April at any point, Brunswick probably already announced their bowling balls. Go check out the channel to go watch what those bowling balls look like. And then Storm Bowling on the 2nd of April is releasing a new Belmo ball. I have to say EJ ball. That's right here, though. A new Belmo ball is being released from Storm and being announced. We have a ton of videos on the channel. Make sure to go check them all out. Make sure to subscribe so you stay up to date on the latest bowling ball news, being the #1 source for that on all of social media. So let's get into what the new bowling ball from Motiv is. This one is so unique. And honestly, this is... I don't try to be super excited or super upset about a bowling ball being announced, but this one I'm very excited about, minus the price point. We're going to get into that in a minute. The Jackal EJ. There is a new EJ bowling ball coming out. The EJ Venom recently was discontinued. All of the bowling balls were pretty much sold out anywhere you go. There's still a handful out there. But what they did is they released a new EJ ball, and that is the Jackal. For anyone who isn't aware, Motiv has partnered with their #1 player, EJ Tackett, for about 4-ish bowling balls at this point. We have the VIP Sigma, the EJ Venom, and we might have had another one in there that I can't remember. Let me know in the comments if I'm forgetting any. Now, he is partnering with the Jackal, the best asymmetrical ball Motiv has ever released, and they are releasing the Jackal EJ, this Arctic white and silver bowling ball, which I think is one of the best looking bowling balls of the year. Like, there have been some really good looking bowling balls this year. This one might top the cake. This thing is gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. It might be hard to clean. Looks really, really cool though. But it's interesting. It is a hybrid Jackal. So right now we don't have a hybrid Jackal in the market. We have the Jackal Onyx, we have the Jackal Ghost. Both are solids. The Ghost is much weaker than the Onyx. Then we have the Crimson Jackal, a pearl, a shiny pearl, very angular, very long Jackal. Now we have this one. Now we have the Jackal EJ. So let's look at what this bowling ball has. So there's a little note here, limited edition pre-orders due. Make sure to watch till the end of the video. I will explain everything that I know about that with a little bit of insider information that I've gotten from a few viewers actually who are helping me out a little bit. So shout out the 3 viewers that DM'd me, by the way, before this ball was released. Kind of funny story is I woke up this morning, it was probably about 9 or 10 a.m. I was at work and I get hit by a bunch of viewers on Discord. Go check out our Discord or TikTok saying, hey, Motiv has this new URL that went live, but they haven't announced the bowling balls. It's an April Fool's joke, which is kind of funny because it was for this bowling ball. So the URL went live. Motiv didn't really announce the bowling ball. So I was ready to get everything ready. And then they finally announced what this bowling ball was. And then those same viewers said, I think I know a little bit about this limited edition thing. So we'll get into that in a second. But EJ Tackett did it again, won his 3rd player of the year. This time it's back-to-back. So this is kind of alluding to last year where he won player of the year twice, or back-to-back. To celebrate his latest one, EJ and Motiv are releasing a limited edition weapon called the Jackal EJ. Gold standard for heavy oil. They announced the other ones, but the cover stock, Propulsion HVH. So this is slightly different. The Propulsion cover stock is what they have on virtually all of their Pearl bowling balls. HVH is just a new one. They have HV Plus. They have, I think, HVP. They have FYP. They have a ton of different number or letters after their Propulsion. This one's just HVH, so it's a hybrid one, stronger hybrid. Their goal is for this ball to fit between the Jackal Ghost and the Crimson Jackal. That's kind of a big spot to fill at the end of the day. The Jackal Ghost is pretty early and continuous. The Crimson hooks pretty late. So this is trying to shoot that gap in between them. Really cool idea. They mentioned the Predator V2 core, of course, what we have on every Jackal ball. If you guys aren't aware, it is an insanely strong asymmetrical core. 2.47 RG, 0.54 differential, and an 0.15 intermediate differential. It's smaller than some cores out there. Like the max bias from Radical had a much larger core than this. The one Reverb, much larger core than this. However, this one's still a pretty hefty core, one of the bigger ones that Motiv makes. When I say bigger, I mean it's going to be stronger, one of the stronger cores that they make. So they have a couple other cool things. Flare potential is basically maxed out. They actually have numbers on length, back end, and hook, which is pretty cool. I'm going to need to look into those a little bit. I might put those out at some point to see where they actually stand. Otherwise, that's all they have on the website is just core. They mention the cover and then they show it. Now let's get into what this limited edition part means. So limited edition pre-orders due to pro shops by April 10th. What this means, like other limited releases from Motiv, is they are only going to produce as many bowling balls as they get pre-orders for. So you cannot in 6 months say, hey, maybe I do want that Jackal EJ, which is something I always recommend. I recommend getting a bowling ball a little bit later compared to pre-ordering. This one, they're going to try to feed a little bit off of that, off of you wanting, maybe missing this. So what you have to do is talk to your pro shop, get them to pre-order the bowling ball before April 10th, or else there won't be one that's actually made for you. Very, very interesting way to do it, especially for a ball this expensive. Very odd. I know with the EJ Venom, they had a lot of them still in production. So I don't know if more pro shops tried to put in pre-orders and then they created a bunch of balls and they poured a bunch of balls and then the pro shops didn't want them, whatever. I don't know what happened there, but that is what they're saying for this guy. The release date, though, is June 4th. So they need pre-orders by April, and then 2 months later, you're going to get your bowling ball. So it is actually kind of a custom bowling ball at the end of the day, where you pay for it, you order it, and then 2 months later, they know the exact amount they need to make, and then they get it to you. Very interesting idea. So it means they're not going to have extra. So this ball might be very, very difficult to get at the end of the day, which is very ironic timing because Storm Bowling is doing the same thing with their Belmo ball, where they are doing a limited release and then they're only going to produce as many as they really have pre-orders for, probably plus a couple of extras. So kind of interesting. I don't know if Motiv was snagging this from Storm, if Storm snagged it from Motiv. Brunswick does not do the pre-order limited edition thing yet. They don't really have a PBA player that takes the limelight as much as an EJ or a Belmo does. So kind of interesting. I'll be curious to see if they also jump into the game of it. But what that means is there's a new ball guide. Motiv has a new ball guide, and the Jackal fits exactly where they said, between the Ghost and the Crimson Jackal. So if you haven't seen in the last couple of months, they did change this a little bit. So we have the Jackal Onyx and the Forza up left. We actually do not have a column now for their microcell polymer. We used to. The Tank Rampage Pearl, even though it's discontinued, is still on the list in the bottom left corner of weak and smooth. Kind of interesting. The Lethal Venom got moved down. The Lethal Venom used to be right below the Sub-Zero where the Pride Dynasty was. Now it actually got bumped down one spot. Then it's in line with the Black Venom and the Venom Shock. These, I don't know if I fully agree with. The Lethal Venom should probably be a little bit higher in this green area. The Pride Liberty got moved over next to the Primal Rage. Otherwise, this second row is completely filled, by the way. Sub-Zero down to Nuclear. This pretty much stayed the same. The Primal Shock might have gotten bumped up here. It wasn't, I don't think, in the same row as all the Evokes and everything, but kind of interesting. And then the top row is completely filled now with the Jackal EJ being between the Ghost and the Crimson. So very, very interesting to see 4 Jackals back in the market. Will we see the Crimson going away soon? Potentially. That ball's been out for about 1.5 years now. So I could see that one going sooner rather than later. But we do have a new ball guide. Very, very interesting. Now, last but not least, let's look at the price of this guy, what you are going to be paying. Right now, this bowling ball is listed at $215. That is the same as the Jackal Onyx. This is the most expensive domestic bowling ball on the market today. So a little bit unfortunate in that regard. Pre-ordering something that expensive is a little tough, especially not really seeing any reviews of it. Motiv hasn't posted anyone actually throwing the ball. I'm guessing in the next week or two, they will show videos of EJ actually throwing the Jackal EJ, hopefully, just to see a little bit of ball motion. Now, luckily, we have had hybrid Jackals in the past. I believe there was a Mystic or a Mythic that was released in the past, and then a handful of others. Will it react similar? Maybe not. I think it's going to be a little bit better because of how good that Jackal Onyx was. I could see this EJ being better than the old hybrids, like the Onyx is better than the old solids. So we're going to have to see where that all goes. But if you want your Jackal EJ, talk to your local pro shop. Go to Bowlers Mart. It looks like you can actually pre-order on this website. Go to other retailers. I recommend your local pro shop. That's always the best place. Motiv is always tries to help out local pro shops. So I'd go join them and recommend checking them out. But otherwise, this is the new Motiv bowling ball coming out. Will there be more in the future? Potentially. This is a limited edition one. Kind of weird. It releases in a long time. I bet we could see a new Motiv release happening before this. I don't see them going 2 full months without releasing a bowling ball. I bet there's going to be another one sooner rather than later, so make sure to subscribe to the channel for all Motiv news. Otherwise, we have new Brunswick balls and a new Storm ball coming in the very, very near future that I will have videos on in the next week, so make sure you subscribe for that. Otherwise, make sure to drop a like. Thank you guys for joining. Have a good day, and see you on the next one.